What's up, George? Back again to do another video. It's been a long time since I did one, a solo one. Everybody in the house is gone now. The COVID restriction shit's all gone with jobs and schools, so the house is empty for the first time in like 19 months. On a Monday morning, that's when I'm doing this video. That was one of the reasons why solo videos were kind of on the back burner. Was there was always somebody around. Now, me and Greeno do the podcast, the Man Cave of Doom podcast. That's more scheduled, and we set a time. And what people don't know is a lot of times we reschedule. We have a time set, and then something will come up with either work or health or whatever. It's just the way it is. So I'm hoping to get back to doing some of these solo videos, showing new shit and, just what I've been listening to or watching lately. Obviously, the Man Cave of Doom stuff will be showing mostly music on that channel. We'll have a Halloween episode coming up, a live episode where we'll be doing probably horror movie shit and, that kind of stuff. So I figured I'll just stick with kind of like the old school nerd alert that I used to do. This will be more with CDs and movies and mags and comics and toys and that kind of shit. See how it goes. No guarantees, and I'm going to keep doing them, but I was bored, so I figured let's see if I could go back and do solo videos again. It's kind of, it's kind of nerve-wracking, to be quite honest. But anyway, enough babbling. Now that the Halloween season is upon us, I have been watching more horror films over the last few weeks. I did watch Halloween Kills on Friday, and I just got to say, I've never hated and loved a movie at the same time as much as I do Halloween Kills. I might get back into doing old school movie reviews and shit now that the house is empty again. Hopefully this is the end of the COVID shit. Everybody around here seems to be vaccinated and all that, and I'm under the weather now. Obviously, there's still colds and shit going around, so the whole house had it last week. My youngest son had it the worst. And we actually thought, oh, fuck, is this COVID? Because it was all the symptoms like fever, cough, mucusy, that kind of shit. And then we were just like, fuck. So, we all got tested. Obviously, he got tested first. Everything negative, COVID tested. And still to this, everybody else is back to normal. I'm at the point where it's just getting back to normal, but I'm still nasally. So thank God it wasn't COVID. We're all vaccinated, but whatever. I still swear we had it well over a year ago, and just back when we weren't sure what it was, because my wife and I were sick for a good week, 10 days with flu-like shit that we just couldn't get rid of. But and that was in January of 2020, so I'm not sure. We never got tested. I never got the antibody test, but anyway, enough of that rambling. We're already 4 minutes in, and I'm rambling about where I've been, what we've been doing. So anyway, let's get into the fun shit. A couple movies I have been watching. Not movies, shows I have been watching online. Obviously, the Squid Game thing. I like that. I don't know if it's worth all the hype, but I liked it a lot. But one thing I haven't checked out, surprisingly, it's into season 3 already, and that's I ended up picking up season 1 of Creepshow. Now this was on AMC, I believe. The first season was on AMC, and then Shudder picks it up. And you can watch it on Shudder now. if you have the horror app Shudder, which I suggest. I checked out Shudder when it first started, and it was just a complete disaster. It was just total B movie stuff. I mean, not disaster, but I didn't want to pay for it. There was just nothing worth watching on there. So I remember reading in Horror Hound or something that Shudder picked up Creep Show. So I was like, all right. But I still, again, never got. And then when we were all sick last week, my wife's like, let's watch some horror films. And she's like, what's this Shudder? And I said, I don't know. Check it out. It's all B movie stuff. But when we went back and looked, now now it's a really, really well done app, streaming service or streaming app, whatever you want to call it. A lot of killer movies on there now. Not just the B movies, but Creep Show is up there now. And I think, like I said, season 3 is they're in the middle of season 3 now. I think a new episode drops every Tuesday or something like that, or Monday. I'm not 100% sure what day, but I watched the first season and decided I had to get it on Blu-ray just for the bonus features and stuff. But I absolutely loved season 1 of Creep Show. It's got that old school, creepy, eerie comic vibe to it, which I'm a huge fan of, if anybody knows. And now with this one magazine, the Creeps magazine, if people don't know, if people are a fan of the current Creeps, they are no longer the Creeps magazine. They're called Shudder now. And this is issue 1. Just came out in local Barnes and Noble. So it used to be the Creeps. I don't know if I have any down here. No. But, it's like the old school comic magazine. And Creep Show is that, but just, on TV, a TV show. Each episode has 2 stories. There's 6 total episodes, but 12 stories in the season. I'm not giving anything away because I don't want to give anything away on here, but I would definitely suggest this to anybody. I actually like this more than I thought I would. I really did. It's really well done. It's directed by Greg Nicotero, who currently does The Walking Dead. And I think he's a student of Tom Savini. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, if you like The Walking Dead and the direction that Greg does, you'll like this. I think it's a well done series. I'm in, I think, the 2nd or 3rd episode of season 2 now, which there is no Blu-ray of it. They just have season 1, and I got this. It was really cheap. I was surprised. It was like $8.99. Brand new. It didn't have, I guess it had a slip case because it says glow in the dark color, but nothing on here glows in the dark, and it was sealed. So I would imagine the slip case for this probably had a glow in the dark cover, but really killer anthology series. I can't say more about it. I really love season 1. And season 2 so far has been pretty good. I think there was one hiccup in one of the episodes I didn't care for, but other than that. But again, here's Shudder. They were called the Creeps. The Creeps magazine ended up going 32 issues, 4 or 5 annuals, which is the end of year thing. Unfortunately, Shudder magazine, the Creeps magazine had to change the name, I guess because it was too close to the classic Creepy magazine. Obviously, it's some of the same artists and writers from back then in this current version. And from what I understand, I guess Warren magazines own the old Creepy and Eerie and Famous Monsters, I think. I guess there's a new company, a new comic company that bought out the rights to those old comics and magazines. And instead of, getting into a legal battle, the people over at Warrant Publications decided to change the Creeps name to Shudder. And this is issue 1. And it's classic, like I said, classic Warren magazine style comic. Adult comic. Really killer. Really well done. I can't say enough about it. I've been to Creeps. I have the whole run of the Creeps. All 32 issues. All the annuals. It's just, one of those things. Next up, I got a Blu-ray called Boys from a County Hell. I thought this was good. It's another Shudder exclusive. Again, you can find this probably on Shudder. I don't think I saw it up there, but I think it's on Shudder. Good take on the vampire legend. I think it's shot in Ireland, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Ireland, but really killer vampire kind of film. But well done. Has some good humor to it. I liked it a lot. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen that. A couple other magazines I picked up. The latest issue of Remind. I don't normally buy this. It's like a game retro magazine, I guess. But this issue they dedicated to, obviously, Halloween and the series. The whole first half of the magazine is all Halloween and the movies, all the movies, interviews and shit, and there's some trivia stuff in here, and then it gets into the more weirder horror stuff and a lot of the games that are in the back of this. I don't know, like I said, I don't normally buy this magazine, but it's a pretty cool cover. Anything with fucking Michael Myers on it, I'll take. Speaking of retro, the latest issue of Retro Fan is out. This is issue 17, I think. Yeah, issue 17 has a piece on Aurora Monster model kits that I love. I love those things. I don't have any, but I can't afford them. They have reproductions now. They're not Aurora. Somebody else makes them. Polar Nights, I think, that are pretty close, but I haven't tried them yet. I don't have time to do models at this point. Although I'm getting into another hobby, which has been weird lately, but I'll talk about that at the end of it, maybe. Anyway, this is done by Tomorrow's Publishing. And they do mostly 50s, 60s, and 70s. I guess some 80s stuff too, but like retro entertainment stuff. But this one's dedicated mostly horror stuff. Mad Monster Party, they do a piece on. George of the Jungle. It's just kind of cool retro. I don't know if they try to keep it more towards the 70s, but pretty cool magazine. Speaking of 70s, this just came out of Barnes & Noble. It's a UK magazine. They call these bookazines. And this is the Ultimate 70s collection. I flipped through this a couple times before I pulled the trigger on it and bought it, but man, this is like, if you want to go total 70s retro, here's what's in it. Just kind of toys. It covers toys and movies and TV shows. Now, I will admit, a lot of the TV shows listed in here must have been British television, because I don't know any of these. Rent-A-Ghosts, Upstairs, Downstairs, The Professionals, Monkey, Abigail's Party. The only one I recognize is Starsky and Hutch on this page. So, And the music stuff too. There's not a lot of, you would think there would be a lot of Kiss in this, and there's just not. I guess Kiss in the late 70s weren't as big overseas, but there's Stretch Armstrong, Walkman at the beginning, but pretty killer book, magazine, whatever you want to call it. And if you have their frequent flyer miles card, whatever you want to call it, it's like 10% off. So it's a $20 magazine, unfortunately. And then I picked this up at a flea market just yesterday. It's an issue of Famous Monsters from September 1980. It's like $2 for this. I get weird shit like that all the time. And I didn't read through that yet, so that's it for that kind of stuff. I did get, these are kind of cool. I don't think I had any of these, but somebody actually brought these in the store and gave them to me at the shop. And that's the last 4 Bond films. Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace. I think I've seen both of those. Skyfall and Spectre. I don't think I've seen Skyfall or Spectre yet. And everybody's talking how good the new movie is, so we'll see. On to some CDs. Picked up the KK Priest. I didn't like it. Unfortunately. Musically, it's pretty cool. I mean, it sounds like Priest. Lyrically, it's just Cheeseball City. Which is not really that shocking for Ripper Owens. You know, not taking anything away from him as a singer. He's just not a very good lyricist, I guess. Unless they made it to sound as cheesy as they were going for. I don't know. But so I won't be picking this up on vinyl. I don't even see me listening to this album that much anymore. There's a few songs on here I did like. Return of the Sentinel. Obviously Priest related. But like, you get song titles like Hellfire, Thunderbolt. I mean, that's... Anyway. And they wonder why metal gets a bad rap from back in the 80s. You get fucking names like that. Anyway, on to the next one. I finally got the Wild Hearts 21st Century Love Songs. This is the Amazon exclusive, Amazon UK exclusive. Has the 2 bonus tracks called We Sing for Tim and Alien, I think it's called. I have to ask CJ because he wrote both of those. And this one also came with the autograph card, which I have their signatures 10 times over, I think, at this point. Still in my non-working stereo in the car. All I'm getting right now is high-end sound until it dries out. After we got that hurricane here a few weeks back, my stereo speakers won't work unless it's totally dry out. Next up, the 2 reissues I got from, which I thought was cool, from Rock Candy Records. I've been working with Derek Oliver, I think his name is. And Rock Candy Records for reissuing these 2 records. I got him in touch with Michael Kelly Smith, and once I heard that they were doing these records, but the first 2 Britney Fox records are now reissued out on Rock Candy, totally remastered. A whole huge booklet in it with essay written by Dave Reynolds. That's who did this. everybody knows in the glam metal community knows who Dave is. So, but these, it's got a nice collage of stuff, pictures from the old days, and finally got. I don't know if it'll. You can see that. There's Dave and Dizzy. But they sound amazing, I thought. They were remastered a while ago by Bad Reputation Records in France. I'm going back probably over 10 years ago, probably 15 years ago. These sound really good. Poison Heat's the same. There's still no information about Bite Down Hard, if that's ever going to get a reissue, or which is crazy. I mean, the only company that reissued it was Atlantic on that Wounded Bird label, which I don't know if they're associated with Atlantic or if they just buy out or just, rent the licensing. But they put out Bite Down Hard on CD about 20 years ago. But it was no different than the original release. They didn't remaster it or anything. And then hasn't been reissued since. So I don't know what the deal with Atlantic is on that. But Kix Hotwire's the same way. And I know Kix Hotwire just got reissued overseas on CD. But now that they've been doing their own reissues, I have a feeling we're going to see a Kix Hotwire remix at some point. Picked up the band Iron Lizards on that Sign Records, which if you like action rock, that's what we're going to call it. You'll love this shit. If you like the Helicopters, Backyard Babies, that vibe, definitely check them out. Picked up the new 9 Pound Hammer featuring Blaine from Nashville Pussy. But I haven't listened to this. This just came out Friday. Haven't listened to that yet. And I got this Friday as well. It's a new Hound Dog Taylor comp. 2 CD comp on that JSP out of the UK, I think. There's a ton of shit on this. I'm not familiar with any of this stuff. I don't think. Focus, you prick. There you go. A little bit of live stuff. Not too much. I think it's all studio shit, but love me some Hound Dog Taylor. It's that dirty bluesy shit, man. Slide guitar, that whole thing. Really killer. Then I got the Rods Rock Hard on CD from Gary on Facebook. Thank you, sir. If you watch this. I actually got the vinyl from him too. But he buddy with Greeno and he has some good shit. So anyway, that is it for that kind of stuff. And then on to some vinyl. Finish off with a little bit of vinyl because I don't want to give too much away because I show a lot of stuff on Man Cave of Doom. Again, check us out if you haven't yet. Greeno and I's podcast. We're up to episode 32, 34, somewhere in there. And we'll have a new one here real soon, hopefully this week. But found some really killer blues stuff over the last couple weeks, actually. Went to a flea market again yesterday, picked this up. This is Earl Hooker's Sweet Black Angel on Blue Thumb. I just got these yesterday, so I haven't listened to it yet. But I know I didn't have this one. Earl Hooker is the nephew of John Lee Hooker. I want to say. I think it's John Lee's nephew. I'm not 100% sure, but next up is Lucille from B.B. King. Found an upgrade of that. Mine was beat. Actually, I thought it was in better shape, but I'm glad I picked this up. It was cheap. It was only like $8 for this. So. John Lee Hooker, Never Get Out of These Blues Alive. This is killer. This is early 70s, I think. I don't know my glasses. I think this is early 70s. Yeah, 71. And then Jimmy Reed, I Ain't From Chicago. I think this is from around the same time, 73. And Buddy Guy and Junior Wells plays the blues. Now this one, the cover was shit, but the vinyl was actually, the cover's not too bad. There's some wearing there, but the vinyl was looked like it was unplayed. Yeah, there's some damage there in the back, but and the last one was the Johnny Winter About Blues. I wasn't sure if I had this or not. I didn't remember having it, but then when I got home, turns out I have a Japanese pressing of this. I don't really know the story with the songs on here, so but I think this is early stuff, kind of in between him getting signed to CBS and the early garagey stuff he was doing, but pretty killer. And then last up, where'd I put the other ones? Wow. Thought I lost them. Last up, a couple new ones I got. I picked up the Wasp Eldorado on orange vinyl, I think. It was the only Wasp record that kind of later day Wasp album that reminded me of the early days, but it's got Chris Holmes on it. Pretty good record. It's fun. And lastly, the Killer Hearts, Skin Tight Electric. If you like New York Dolls, it's on Spaghetti Town Records. And Drag Strip Riot Records. But pretty killer album. If you like New Yorky, glammy, New York Dolls, hard rock, definitely check this out. Pretty cheap too. Spaghetti Town, it's less than 20, I think. And I did get the black and red splatter vinyl. I think that's sold out now, but really killer band. Definitely check out the Killer Hearts. I'll talk more about these guys. I'm sure Greeno wants to know about them on Man Cave of Doom. But anyway, that is it for this update. I've been saying I was getting into a new hobby lately. Actually, I'll show you these two since it's Halloween. I ended up picking these up for pretty cheap. The Halloween 2 Ultimate Michael Myers figure. The Friday the 13th Part 3. It's got the 3D cover, so they say. Yeah. Jason, and then I got Part 4. My two of my favorite Friday the 13th movies. Not my favorite Jasons, though. However, they just did. My favorite Jason is Friday the 13th Part 7, just look-wise. And they just released, same company, NECA, just released Part 7. I had it pre-ordered, so that should be coming soon. If you don't pre-order these things, man, they start out at like, you can find them from anywhere from $24.99 to $34.99 usually. That's the list. So when they come out, I usually jump on them anywhere. I won't pay more than $29.99. But after they're out and disappear, they jump significantly. It's crazy. But anyway, like I said, I've been doing into a new hobby lately, and just trying my hand at some shit, and that's like die cast medaling for the old school Corgi cars. Which people that just heard that just shut off the video, but I started finding these old Corgi at like flea markets. And if you don't know what the Corgi cars are, they did a lot of the Hollywood stuff in the 60s and 70s. I mean, their biggest claim is probably the 66 Batmobile, which I have on order. I bought one. I had a couple when I was a kid, and I have yet to find a decent one for a decent price nowadays. They're extremely expensive nowadays, especially the early versions of them. Now, mine was the late 70s, early 80s versions of them. So I was looking for a specific model of it. I finally found one. I didn't think it was going to be this hard to find this model. It's the very last model that they did with the bigger tires. That's the one I had when I was a kid. So I finally found one. It's on its way. It's in shit shape, so I'm going to restore it. So I tried my hand over the last couple weeks to restore another one that I found, and I wish I had the pictures of it beforehand. I didn't think to take pictures, but anyway, this is the final product. And this is the 1960 Corgi Batmobile. Now this one was completely destroyed when I got it. I bought it for $1 or $2, I think it was. The fins were bent, which they're straight now. The paint was gone. There was pitting in all the metal. Now this one is a later model, and that's why I did it. I started with this one. So this is obviously not from the 70s, but this is one they've done over the last 20 years. They kind of, I don't know, they just won't reissue that 66 one. So this is the 1960 comic book Batmobile. So what I did with this is I stripped all the paint off. I repainted the whole thing in a matte black like it should look. I stripped the top of the fins so they have that silver blade finish, kind of like a razor blade. And then I fixed the blade up front. Wire cutter. However, I don't have the spring in there, so it doesn't work yet. But I have a spring on order. So what you do is you punch the what is that? The red light, the beacon light. You hit that down, and the blade comes out. It's called the turd cutters. That's what I call it now. It's like the rope cutter, chain breaker, or some shit. Anyway, nerd alert. That's what I'm into. So I think what I'm gonna do is with that 66 Corgi, it's got to be from 80, 79. It has the fat tires on it. I have all the drills and shit I need to do it. And I might document it and either talk about it here or on, but that's my new plan. So hopefully that'll be here this week. I did have to order a couple extra parts for it that I could tell were missing from the picture, like the windshields and the saw blade, but we'll see how it is when it shows up. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to watch this video back, see how bad it is, and hopefully you guys will see it. If you're watching this now, you saw it. If you're not watching it, then I didn't post it. But this is my first solo video in a long, long time. So anyway, that's it. Enough fucking rambling. I'll talk to y'all real soon. Man Cave of Doom's new episode should hopefully be happening live this week if you're watching this. And today's October 18th, I think. Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully, if not, I'll see y'all next time I feel like doing a solo video. All right, peace.